I've been waiting for over 2 years to start this build. If you've been following my channel long enough, then first of all, thank you. I'm glad you are still here. And secondly, you might remember my video about Cannondale F700, where I said that I'm planning to build the Cannondale F-Si in the same colors. And I said this in August 2020. And we are now in April 2022, and I'm only building this bike now. That's crazy. Here is my favorite part from that video. I bought this Cannondale F-Si frame set in March 2020 and it got stuck in the US for a year and a half. Well, I'm glad I eventually got it so I can build it right now. To be honest, I don't really need a hardtail mountain bike given that my full suspension Scott Spark weighs just 9 kilograms. Here it is. But when I first saw Cannondale F-Si Hi-Mod frame set in a limited edition throwback colors, I instantly fell in love. It's a sub 1 kilogram frame, really cool old school color scheme, and a brand new Lefty Ocho single crown fork with carbon steer. What's not to love in it? Come on, yeah?
And even 2 years later, I still think this is the best frame set on the market.
Buying F-Si was one of the reasons why I converted my Scott Spark into a downcountry bike with more travel and bigger tires, and added 1 kilogram of bike weight. But there's been good things about this long wait. In these 2 years I managed to collect some really great lightweight parts, and some of these parts didn't even exist 2 years ago. I'm talking about Zirbel shifters. I didn't really have a target weight for this build. As always, my approach is to buy lightweight parts that look nice, so that when the bike is built it looks like one complete project. And making it look nice is not that straightforward given that this frame already has bright blue and bright yellow colors, and I also want to add some silver components to it to make it look a bit old school-ish, as well as the 10-volt tires. So I'm not sure whether this will look nice or not, but we'll check that. As always, I'll be showing the weight of the parts that I put on the bike, and you can see the full specs and components list in the description to this video. So let's turn the music on. Not that one. Nope. That would work. So let's start the build. different color. I've just realized I don't have a chain. Don't know how this happened, but anything can happen in 2 years. In order to finish the build, I will have to take the chain from my Scott Spark. Sorry, Sparky. I'll buy you a new chain. That's a good thing about having several bikes. Wow, I really like how it looks. The only last piece of the puzzle left is the seat post and the saddle. Of course, I couldn't leave Specialized S-Works seat post on this bike. It just doesn't look right. Therefore, I have this. This is Bjorn Glagol seat post in 400 millimeters, and it weighs just 139 grams. And it's super strong as well. Matches really well the handlebar, which is also from Bjorn, which weighs 135 grams, also very light. And to complete the cockpit, I also have Bjorn's new Setka saddle. This is a 3D printed saddle with carbon shell. I really like what guys from Bjorn do. I've used their saddle on my road bike, and that was a fully carbon saddle without the padding, sub 100 grams, and I really like it. So I'm hoping that this saddle would be even more comfortable because it has some padding. Yes, there is like a 40 grams penalty, but when it comes to comfort, especially on a mountain bike, it's essential. Done. Now the most exciting part of the whole process, at least for me, is checking the weight of the final build. So let's do it. Drum roll. Ooh! 8.3 kilograms. Super happy about it. Ooh! Holy cow, that's a hell of a bike. That's probably the most satisfying project, the most satisfying build I've ever done. Probably because I had to wait for all the parts for over 2 years. Anyway, I'm really happy with the result. So let me talk you through the parts. Well, we've talked about the frame already, so I won't spend time on it. I'll just say that Lefty Ocho Orc, I've tried it before and I really like it. Probably more than forks or rock shocks that I've tried before. It's really stiff, in spite of the fact that it's just single crown and single leg, and it looks really cool. I think all of you agree with this. Next, wheels. These have been custom built on carbon light bicycle rims with 24mm internal width, super light rims, super quality as always from Lightbicycle, and I've paired it with carbon tie rear hub, again very light, sub 200 grams for a boost hub, and Extralite front hub The reason I have this mix of hubs is because I really wanted a direct lacing on the right side of the Lefty fork because it looks really cool, and it's probably the lightest hub on the market. Both these brands make super high quality lightweight hubs. I've used them before on my other builds and I'm really happy, so it was a no-brainer for me. But probably the most exciting part of the whole build, at least for me, were the shifters. These shifters are made by Zirbel and they are wired through the handlebars into the stem and connected to the SRAM blip box that is hidden inside the stem. And the coolest part is that SRAM blip box fits into intent stem perfectly. Almost like it has been made for that. I think if you buy the 90mm stem, it would be much easier to fit all the wires inside the stem. For me, I had to figure out how to fit everything and spend like almost an hour doing this. And as you can see, I have two shifters on the right side and on the left. But in reality, I can have just one shifter for the rear derailleur because she's up and down like that. Another reason why I wanted to have two shifters is because in the future I want to be able to put Sram Reverb AXS dropper post in 27.2, the one they made for gravel bikes, but I think it would be perfect for this bike. So anytime I need a dropper post, I can just remove the standard seat post, put the dropper, and boom, it's already connected to the shifters. As for the group set, I have a mix of components. I have a lightweight 10-48 Garbaruk cassette. As you know from my previous videos, I'm a big fan of Garbaruk components. For example, this cassette is cheaper than XX1 and it's also lighter than XX1. As for the rear derailleur, I have Sram XX1 with X01 cage because I wanted it to be silver, so I sanded it down to silver color, and this is to match Cannondale SISL2 cranks. These are SUPERLIGHT cranks which I polished into a silver color. It took me many hours to remove anodizing from these cranks and make them look like that, but I'm really happy with the result. The reason I wanted some silver components on this bike is to add this old school look to match the color of this frame, because this is a throwback color scheme. For this build I decided to go with Hope X2 raised brakes. There are several reasons for that. Reason number one, they look really cool. CNC machined levers, and I managed to find cylinder covers with British flag. They're very rare these days. I think some older versions were released with these caps, so I had to hunt for them on eBay. But the main reason I decided to go for Hope brakes is because this frame is designed for flat mount disc brake calipers, which you've probably seen a lot in road and gravel bikes, but not on mountain bikes. And Hope makes X2 calipers in flat mount, and it looks really neat. So I didn't have to put an adapter for the post mount like people usually do. The third reason, Hope makes their components in many colors, so I could mix and match the black calipers with blue caps. Oh, and by the way, you probably have noticed that I went for the black front rotor and blue rear rotor. I've never done this mixing before on any of my bikes, but I think it looks pretty cool on this one. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this build, whether you like the silver components or not. How do you like the choice of the tires? Would you go for 10-wall tires or black wall like I did? I'd be very interested to read what you think. I also want to thank guys from Garbaruk Components, Lightbicycle, Bjorn, Zirbel and Intent for providing their parts either for free or with a very good discount and make this dream F-Si bike come true. Thank you very much guys, you are amazing. So that's all I wanted to show in this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you soon.